Hi, welcome back to ODE YouTube channel, and today we are here for another Friday night pen thoughts, and today it is episode number 23, and it is Lisboa, 14 de janeiro de 2022. And I'm here again for the first fountain pen Friday night pen thoughts, from 2022. Today I will have the same amount of topics as usual. Let's see if I don't take too long and make a video that is very long, but we'll see. So, first we will start with pens for today. And the first pen is this one. And this is the Pelikan, which has some glitter. This is the Pelikan M200 from 2021. It has white parts like that and the piston system. Otherwise it is transparent with glitter on the plastic, and it has lots of glitter in the ink. So this is the I hope it is focused. This is the Pelikan M200 golden barrel with a medium steel nib, and the ink it has inside is the Pelikan Edelstein golden barrel, which is a pen that has the heaviest shimmer I ever saw. However, the ink flow is quite good. I don't find any problem, and you can see there very well the kind of shimmer this ink has. It is kind of impressive. I've been using the pen and I don't have any ink flow issues, so this is kind of amazing. Okay, it's not my everyday kind of ink. It's not for everyday writing, but it is quite amazing how well this ink behaves. I suspected when I got it that it wouldn't be as good. So this pen is not mine. I have it as a loan from Appleboom for review. This will be sent back, but I will review the pen and also the ink. And the other pen is a classic. So today there are two piston fillers, that one and this one. This is the beautiful vintage, I guess you can see there. So this is the Aurora 88 Nikargenta, because of this kind of cap that looks like silver, and it is nickel and silver, I think, alloy. Nikargenta with a fine gold nib, and the ink it has inside is the Diamine Inkvent calendar number 2021, of course, number 19, which is called Festive Joy. And I think this is a great pen, and although they are both piston fillers, I don't think it's hard for two pens to be as more different than these ones are from each other. Now, let's go for the next topic, which is the pens I received since last Friday night pen thoughts. Let me write it like this. And I got two pens. One was a Pilot and the other one was a Benu. Both were received last year. And those pens are this one. This is the Benu, which has an amazing color, amazing everything. This pen is not for everyone, but not for everyone's taste, but I think this is kind of amazing. Benu is very unique on their extreme designs, on their extreme color schemes, with lots of glitter. This pen is amazing. It has a number 5 Schmidt nib, and it writes quite well. And this is the amazing pen. This pen also could go well with that Pelican ink. So the Benu, this model is a new model called Ambrosia. I got this pen from Benu for review. It's the Benu Ambrosia, and it's called, Brown Orchid, and this was sent by Benu, as I told you. And I also have here another pen. Let me get it. This is from Pilot, and it is the Pilot Costume 743, which is kind of a Pilot Costume 74, but with a bigger nib and a little girthier. It has a fine nib, so it's quite fine, and it is like the Pilot Costume 823, but it is a cartridge converter pen of the same model. So this is an interesting pen that I got. I bought this one from the store in Spain, Ink Traveler, which is a specialist in Japanese pens. So, the next item, okay, let me write this, 743. The next topic is the previous video. So, I had some videos previously. I ended the Inkvent calendar by Diamine. I had 2 unboxings of those 2 pens that I just showed you. I made the video with the pens I got in November, the pens I had inked for December, the top pens for the second half of 2021, the absolute top 10 pens from 2021, and also a collection overview of my wooden pens, which was quite nice to make. And it had some problems with the sound. Sorry about that, but I guess it has no use to record it again. And I also made a video about pen failure, which was this week, and it was about this pen, the Winsung 626, which is nice pen, nice color, nice nib, writes well, but the cap shrunk and these two rings are loose now. So I will see what I'll have to do about this. I have to say that my brown, I have only two, the blue and the brown doesn't have any problem. I think it is different materials. Maybe the material, this kind of plastic was not cured enough, so it kept changing over time and it shrunk. Okay, now for my next videos, what I am planning, it's quite hard to tell always, but I have some pen reviews, so I'm not sure which I have, which will be the next one, but I have some pen reviews, the Kaweco, Benu, the Schiffer Balance, so I have several, the Lamy Dialogue CC, so I have several, and I have the pens for January 2022. That will be a long video because I still have lots of pens inked with the Diamine Ink Vent Calendar, which is, this one is an example of that. And I will maybe do some unboxing, maybe not this month, I'm not sure. I only know that I have one pen that is coming, which is a Enso copper pen that will come, I don't know when, maybe with costumes and all that, maybe not during January. And I'm planning also to make giveaway, because I am quite late on that. I promised to make a giveaway before and I didn't do it, so I think it's time to make one or two. So giveaways, and then I'm planning about on a collection overview of my Parker duofold collection. This will be, as I am planning it, it will be a series of 4 videos. The way I'm planning, I've recorded 3, there's still 1 to go, and I divided this video in the vintage American Parker duofold, then the British duofolds, the modern duofolds, and then the pens that are out there that are inspired by the Parker duofold vintage or modern. So it's kind of a long video, but or long 4 long videos, but I think it may be interesting, and I hope the first of those will come next Monday, but I am not sure. And just to give some news, some update, because I think it is important, because sometimes it is important to support several people out there in the pen community, mostly the people that make stuff that I really appreciate. One of those people is, where did I put my pelican? Not mine, but so it's kind of news. Gabriel Falcinelli finally has his web store. And you may ask me, who is that guy? He's the Italian guy that made these brass stoppers for ink cartridges, and he also makes some pen stands and makes some inks. He has 3 inks. I reviewed 1. There are 2 more to review. So he now has a store. Sometimes I have some people asking where can they buy these. Now they can buy directly from him. I think this is great news. He's creating his own pen business, and I think it's very important for us to support him. I recommend him, but it's your choice, of course. Let me just write. I will write with the Aurora because it has a more visible ink, I think. And let me write. His website is Great Fountain. That's the name of the brand. Italy.com. So quite easy. If you are interested in his products, please search him, because he didn't ask me to announce this, but I think it's really important. I like his work, and I like the way he's creative and he's willing to make new stuff for pens. Now, the next topic in this video is about the uncommon pen of the day. And guess what? It will be a Kaweco V16. I'm sure I talked about this pen someday before. I don't remember when. I searched my archives, which means I searched this book, this journal, about trying to find that video, but I don't think I talked about this pen in the Friday Night Pen Thoughts episode, maybe in some other episode about Kaweco pens, and maybe some collection overview. And I want to show you the Kaweco V16. And this V16 is quite uncommon because it's very hard to find. I only found one. Maybe there are more out there, of course, sure there are. And it is a prototype. And let me just dive a little bit into it. So, around the 1970s, Kaweco was making this pen. And this is the Kaweco Sport, and the model is V16. You can see it somewhere there. Oops. Focus, please. V16. Okay. The V16 is a Kaweco Sport model. So it is a short pen, and by that time the Kaweco pens, they had regular nibs or the V-nibs. V-nibs were this kind of nib, kind of a semi-hooded nib, and this one is not in perfect shape. I think I reviewed this one before, maybe not sure. And this pen was a piston filler, and you can see the piston working there on the ink window. So it was a piston filler by that time. Let me just show you some size comparison if you are curious about this. Rumor says that Kaweco will release a piston filler Kaweco Sport this year, but this is the Sterling Sport, this is the V16, which is much smaller. And the nib is different because this one has the exposed nib and the other one has the V nib, but there were also the model 16, but without the V nib, with kind of a regular nib. Okay, but is this the prototype? No, this is the regular V16. The one that I wanted to show you is this one. This is a V16, and because it is a prototype, it has the same cap, as you may see. Oops. But if you look well, you will find that this one has Kaweco Sport engraved on the cap. This one has no engraving, and no engraving on the barrel. when you look at both pens capped, they are really similar, but the cap is the same, but you can see some difference there. This kind of blind cap or piston knob is different. And why? It has no markings there also. And why is this different? Because this is not a piston knob. Actually, when we uncap the pen, we will see a similar pen with a similar nib. Okay, one has a breather hole more exposed, the other one is less exposed. The nibs are not the exact same shape, but let's not focus on that. We will see that one has an ink window and the other one doesn't. And why? Because this prototype from 1979, it is just 1 year younger than I, it was a prototype for cartridge converters. And for cartridge, there were no converters at this time for this pen. So it was a cartridge pen. It was a prototype because they were experimenting doing that. And this is when some people say, but older Kaweco pens were nice because they were piston fillers, not modern ones. But sometimes I ask them, but there were vintage or older Kaweco Sports with a cartridge, and this was a prototype, so it was the kind of evolution. I think in a way they are going a little bit back on the evolution, going to produce some piston fillers. I don't have anything against, but it's not my favorite filling system, and it's less convenient, I would say, for a pocket pen. However, many of us use a Kaweco Sport, which is a pocket pen, not as a EDC pocket pen. So sometimes it's just a pen that is in a secure pen pouch, or it is on the desk. So no problem about that. So this is just an interesting thing. Yes, there was a prototype Kaweco Sport with a cartridge from 1979. In 1980, they closed and they reopened in 1995 or 1996, and this model was never into regular production. It was just a prototype, but it is fun to have. And when we talk about uncommon pens of today, this is a real uncommon one. I'm not sure how rare it is, but it's not easy to find one. And okay, we'll go to the other longer topics. I don't think they are that long today. I don't have many pens to show. I just have a couple of examples. And the first one is topic number 1. Is, do you make usually New Year resolutions and pen related ones, of course. And what I am talking about is, do you decide anything about pens? Okay, first let me talk about my thing. I don't usually make lots of New Year resolutions. It makes no sense to me. It's not wrong to make them, but I find that in December, early in December, in the 9th of December, it's my birthday. And I always, since I was a little boy, I made that kind of thought about my life and what I wanted to do and what I had done so far. I did that by my birthday. So when I got into the new year, it didn't make any difference, and I never make New Year's resolution. However, maybe you do them. Maybe you decided to increase your collection, focus more on, I don't know, kind of golden and purple pens, or increasing your collection of Japanese pens, or maybe selling your pens that you don't use to reduce your collection, or maybe to stop buying inks, or maybe to start mixing inks or buying vintage inks. Or not buying anything at all for that year. So there is a lot of New Year's resolutions. I don't really make New Year's resolutions, and I didn't decide yet to stop buying ink or stop using ink. But I decided some time ago to buy less ink, and I'm trying to use up some bottles of ink that I have opened, but it's not really an objective. I'm trying just not to buy many ink, because if I buy 1-2 bottles a year, it's more than enough. Maybe I won't even use that amount of ink in 1 year. But just about that. There is something, however, that I want to do. There is a pen that I want to get, and I can say that is a kind of a New Year's resolution. You may choose, I have this pen, I want to get it, so it's my New Year's resolution. And that pen is a pen that I showed you. I talked about it before. I want to buy it, and I will try to get one. And that pen, and I will also make a video about that, so it makes sense to, when I said here the videos that I am going to make, I also will make my wish list for 2022. I have pens in my wish list, and I will have pens in my wish list that I will not get. I will put in my wish list for sure one pen that has been in last year's wish list, which was the Montegrappa High Tech, which is a gorgeous pen, but it's over 1,000 euros, and I will not buy it. So it will not happen. However, I can wish for it, and I will put in my wish list. But one pen that I really want to buy, I just need to get one from Europe, is the Platinum Gathered. And why do I want that pen in my collection? Well, I want it because it fits my collection in a way, it makes sense to me. The Platinum Gathered, it is a pen, it is the Platinum 3776 Gathered. It is a pen that is actually the regular version of this one. So, imagine the Platinum 3776, the regular one. At some point they made one with this kind of design, with a slip cap instead of a screw-in cap. And I want to have this pen because this pen reminds me this kind of model, and also the Sailor 1911 large, for example. So it makes sense in that kind of collection. It is the same kind of pen, but that one has some different features because of the click-on place cap. There is the material is the texture is different, but it makes sense to have a 3776 that I don't have any of that model, because I have the smaller one. They made it on the 3776 model, and then they decided to reduce it to this funny cartoon-like model, which is called the Platinum Glamour. So I really wanted to have the 3776 Gathered. I just need to find a way to get one in Europe, and that one I will buy. Besides that, I have many wishes, but this is really my only pen resolution for this year. Maybe I have some thoughts about what I may do with my channel, not like a New Year's resolution, but it makes sense to think about those things each year, because it's easy to make all the statistics for the site and for the YouTube channel. And that's the way I will organize stuff, but that's another thing. So, what about you? Do you have New Year's resolutions, you have pen-related resolutions, like inks, pens, so on, or you have a specific pen that you really want to have and you'll focus your interest in that pen and that's the one that you'll buy, like I want to do with the Platinum Gatherer. So please let me know on the comments below. Final topic is a little stranger in a way. So topic number 2 is about, let's call it Frankenpens, although it's not really Frankenpen, like you have the parts of different pens and you match them, is which would be your perfect pen. So let's imagine a pen that doesn't really exist right now in the present as you wish it, but that you really would like to do it, and you can imagine it by merging, by Frankensteining 2 pens together. I made the exercise of thinking about it, and I only thought about 3 pens, but I think if I thought for longer I would think about more. But I just want to give you my ideas, and I really want to hear your ideas about this one, because it's something that interests me. And I'm not saying, like, for example, having the Kaweco Sport in silver like this and making it also in titanium or copper. Yes, I would love a copper Sport, because that's just another variation. And maybe I'm not being fair because I will talk about something that is kind of a variation too, but never mind. I'm talking about merging things together, and one thing that I thought about was this one. I've been working a lot on Parker dual-fold because I'm preparing those 4 videos that I told you about. This is a Parker Centennial dual-fold in the vintage red. I showed you this pen before lots of times. I really like it. And one pen that I would love to see was a combination of this pen with this beast. This is the William Shakur Titan, which is a 3D printed pen. He now announced that he's doing something different with his pens and he will start producing other stuff, or different pens with different materials, but this is a piston filler pen. You see, it is a very big pen with a number 8 titanium nib. And what I would like to see was a Parker dual-fold in the size of this Titan. Of course, let's imagine it would be a cartridge converter pen. It would be with a flat end, with black part there, with also the same black part on the top, with the same kind of clip. It could be this clip or the vintage dual-fold clip, which was similar to this kind of clip on the Pilot, but a ballpoint clip. So I would love to see that. And it's not the most creative thing, because before Parker released the dual-fold in 1920s, they had one pen that was called the Parker Giant. I once had one in my hands, and it was next to this one in a Pelican Hubs meeting long ago, before COVID, and I put this one next to that one, and the other one is huge. So I just would love to have a Parker Giant in yellow, but a cartridge converter pen and in the size of this Titan with a number 8 nib. I would love that, but I wouldn't love the kind of price that Parker puts on the dual-fold, and I imagine if they ever did a pen that size, it would be quite expensive. And even more, they never made the nibs for the dual-fold in a number 8 size, only in this kind of number 6, so I guess it would be too expensive. But I just want to dream about a Parker do fold in kind of a Parker giant. The next Frankenstein also has a Parker. It's hard for me to explain that I like Parker a lot. So it would be these plus these. And what I have here is the Parker 45, which is one of my favorite pen models ever. And this is a Lamy 2000. It is the steel version, but imagine it is the regular version. They have many stuff in common, but one thing that I would love is that they made the Parker 45. They are very similar in many stuff, but this one has a little step down, this one doesn't. This one is a piston filler, this one is a cartridge converter, and both have hooded or semi-hooded nibs. I love the way you can unscrew the nib and put some other nib that you prefer very easily because you unscrew the full unit. So imagine a Parker 45 that is now discontinued. So first, I would love that Parker brought back the 45, and I would love that they would make an oversized model like the Lamy. It doesn't need to be longer, but girthier. I think a girthy Parker 45 we would really bring it up to really one of the best pens ever. I already think they are, but imagine even more. You may say, and yes, it would be great with a piston filler. Maybe I would not like that because Parker never made piston fillers, and I think it would be strange to have a pen that a brand that always went for mostly button fillers, vacuumatic, aerometric, and then cartridge converter to go back to a filling system that they never used. So this is what I would love to see. And we have to say that if we want a piston filler Parker 45, I have a Montblanc Junior that is quite similar to a Parker 45, but it is a piston filler. So not that issue, but I would love to see a Parker 45 of this size. So a merging between the Lamy 2000 and Parker 45 would be great. And my final idea would be the Sailor Compass or Sailor 1911 Profit Junior and the Pilot Elite 95S in Europe or the Pilot E95S in United States and I don't know where else. So, what do I mean? This is the one that falls a little bit into the Kaweco, just changing the kind of metal, but this one has a metal cap. But I would love to see the Elite, which has this beautiful nib. It is a pocket pen like this. I love the shape of the nib. I love the way the pen works. I would love to see it with a plastic cap and with the colors that come with this Sailor. I have two with colors, the forest green and the yellow. I also have another one that is opaque, so I'm not... but it has black trim. I'm not talking about this one, but imagine this nib with that color, with the black. It would be great, but I just wanted to have this pen as a transparent plastic pen and with rich colors. They have also orange and pink and blue, and I wish I had more, but they are not easily available in Europe. I think they are now available in Italy, so I may go and find a couple more for my collection. I really enjoy these little pens. So I think it would be great to see Pilot Elite into colored demonstrator fountain pens. So What do you think? Which are your biggest dreams about merging pens together? I think there are lots of other ideas. I just came up with these 3. I will be able to have some more. For example, imagine to merge the 45 with the, where is that? With the Elite. I don't know where I put it. It's here. With the Pilot Elite, and make a pocket pen out of a Parker 45. But actually Moonman did that. So, okay, I will not say anything more about this. I will let you think about what you would prefer. So, this video came to the end. I hope today this video will get online at time, it will all go well, and I hope to meet you in a premiere so we can chat a little bit. And I have to say now, this is all for today. I want to thank you so much for watching to my long and maybe boring videos with my lousy English, but I really hope you enjoy this. I hope you enjoy this discussion, all the themes we talk about. I hope you participate in the comments below, and most of all, have a great weekend, because having some rest is also great. And sometimes a day of rest is a day where you can calmly clean pens or just do nothing, or maybe hear or listen to or watch long videos to help you fall asleep, maybe. Okay, so this is all for today. Have a great weekend. Leave comments below, and I will meet you again soon. I hope Monday. So, bye.